Okay, well, thank you very much. Ito po si Nico Fabian. Once again, nandito po sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Back in our routine schedule, this is Nico Fabian inviting each and every one of you po dito sa programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our friends here in Malaysia, especially the Filipino communities, and of course, Malaysian friends, and of course also all overseas Filipino workers, kung nasan man kayo sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. I would like to say salamat pagi, salamat patang, and salamat malam to each and every one of you. Likewise to our Filipino communities, Filipino kababayan, kaibigan, at saka kapatid natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Welcome na welcome kayo po. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat po. Ito po si Nico Fabian dito po sa programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico on February 11. Today is Wednesday po. So, we have a lot of issues that we'll be discussing during the program, but I will just prioritize some issues po, no? Limited lang tayo because I don't want to make it too long ang programa natin. So, I will be touching a little bit on the impeachment campaign against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, which is now dead. Officially dead. I will also be touching a little bit on the third impeachment complaint against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte po, no? And we'll see whether this will push through or not. We will closely monitor. I will closely monitor the developments in this case po. Likewise, today, I would like to urge each and every one of you, kung pwede lang po, mga followers natin dito po sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, I would like to advise, urge, and appeal to all of you po to stay until the end of this program, because today I'm going to touch on Senator, the Senator that is very controversial, very aggressive when it comes to protecting the interest and welfare of every Filipinos, protecting the image of the Philippines itself, the entire country, and very aggressive politician, neophyte, Senator, wherein he will be, or I will share with you po, the explanation of Senator Rodante Marcoleta when it comes to the issue of this West Philippine Sea, no? Especially the resolution dyan po sa Senado, and other issues, other very important hot issues po. I'm going to share with you video clips po tungkol sa kanya. But before I'm going to give all these video clips of Senator Rodante Marcoleta, let me share with you po some news, no? Some news po dyan sa Pilipinas, and eto na po, no? Eto na po mga news that I want to share with all of you po dito po sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Hold on muna tayo, and let's see. Hold on. Let's talk about the impeachment complaint, two impeachment complaint against incumbent President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., no? Against incumbent President Bongbong Marcos Jr. And hold on, medyo nano tayo dito po. I don't know what happened, but anyway, how come we cannot open ang phone natin? So, officially, if you look at it po, officially, the impeachment complaint of President Bongbong Marcos, Pangulong Jr. po, is dead now. Patay na po. Dead na dead, as in dead. As in dead. So, alright. Hold on. Let me tingnan muna natin po. Let me see. Parang Nahirapan tayo dito. But anyway, this is it. Nandito po, I will read to you the latest update na tungkol sa impeachment complaint of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Alright. Saan na yun ang storya niya, ha? Sandali pa. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright. Hold on. I'm trying to get the news of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. But, okay. Before I'll give you the news of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos po, let me read to you a story of ito po, the latest one. The third impeachment complaint versus VP Sara sent to the Speaker. Nandoon na po. Last Monday evening, I was made to understand it was officially announced that the third impeachment case or complaint against Inday Sara Duterte submitted to the House of Representatives Secretary General si Chaloy Garafil was already transmitted or sent to the office of the House Speaker last Monday evening. Nandito po ang balita. The third impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte has been transmitted to the office of Speaker Faustin D. III. House Representative Secretary General Chaloy Garafil said the transmittal took place Monday night in accordance with the Constitution and the rules of House of Representatives. Private citizens, mainly members of the clergy, civil society leaders, and legal practitioners, filed the complaint which was endorsed by Deputy Minority Leader Laila De Lima of Mamayang Liberal or ML Party List. I emphasize that the rule of office of the Secretary General in the impeachment proceedings is strictly ministerial. My office is tasked only with the receipt, verification, and transmission of impeachment complaint and their endorsement. Sabi ni po ni Garafil. The complainants include Reverend Father Joel Saballa, Reverend Father Joselito Serabia, Reverend Father Edelberto Bacoli, Reverend Father Rogelio del Rosario, Pastor Leonard Arevalo, Pinky Tam, Maria Loreto Lopez, lawyers Halilo de la Torre, Domocrito Barcenas, and Lourdes Barcenas, and the religious sisters Maria Liza Ramdas, Violeta Cecilio, and Geraldine De Noga. Yun po, nandyan na po. And let's see what will happen. Maybe today they will be discussing ang sabi natin na si Speaker Faustino D will be looking at the complaint, and let's see po what will be the next next move ni sabihin natin Speaker Martin po. So that will be ang latest updates natin tungkol sa issue ni Inday Sara Duterte. As what I said, I'm going to touch also some other issues, and later on, yon po kay sabihin natin Marcoleta po. Nag-explain siya during the spoke program, nag-interview kay Rodante Marcoleta. In the meantime, let me announce or inform everybody, especially those na hindi pa nalaman po na si former House Speaker Jose De Venencia Jr. passed away already po, no? Jose De Venencia Jr., statesman, former House Speaker, passed away at the age of 89. Jose De Venencia Jr., popularly known as JDV since the presidency of the late Fidel Ramos in 1992, the longest-serving Speaker of the House of Representatives in the post-Marcos Sr. era, died yesterday at the age of 89. De Venencia's wife, Representative Gina De Venencia of Pangasinan's 4th District, made the announcement on behalf of their family. With the heavy hearts, our family announces the passing of our beloved husband, father, grandfather, and portrait for former Speaker of House Jose De Venencia. May her soul or his soul rest in peace po, no? So yon po ang the passing away of the former Speaker of the House po. And may his soul rest in peace. And from me, coming from my family and the Filipino communities in Malaysia, particularly in Sabah po, we would like to extend our sincere condolences to the bereaved family, po. So, yon ang latest updates na mayroon tayo po. And, mayroon tayo dito po. May mga balita tayo dito na si Marcos wants travel tax repeal, dynasty bill by June. And narinig natin po, Chinese Embassy rejects, condemns Senate resolution. Ito na po. This is the thing that I'm talking about. 2 weeks po ito nag-discuss sa Senado po. And just the other day, na pass na po ang resolution po, which is sponsored by Senator Kiko Pangilinan po. And ang reaction ng China po is expected naman, no? They condemn. The Chinese Embassy rejected yesterday o kahapon po the resolution approved by the Senate condemning embassy officials for their statement against Philippine officials speaking out on West Philippine Sea issues on defending the country's sovereignty. In a statement, Chinese Embassy spokesperson Xi Jinping called the Senate resolution a political stand and accused the legislators of repeatedly resorting to threats and intimidation against Chinese diplomats. He warned the legislators that there is a price to pay for their hypocrisy, ignorance, and recklessness. Yun po ang problema po, no? I hope, kaya sabi ang China that there is a price to pay. A price to pay for this resolution. So sana lang po, no? Sana lang, ito ang takot ko talaga po, no? Mahirap na po if China will do something against the Philippines. Hindi naman natakot tayo sa kanila po in terms of in the event there will be war. But if it will be aggravated, ang bilateral ties between Philippines and China, many Filipinos will suffer. As what I said, and I've been repeating po, many Filipinos will suffer in terms of should anything happens between China and Philippines, the bilateral relationship po, trade relationship natin po, Filipinos, overseas Filipinos, who are presently working in China, be it in Macau, Hong Kong, or mainland China po, estimated around almost 500,000. What if China will decide not to renew the working permits of these Filipinos? In other words, if that will happen, this more than or 500,000, accordingly, reportedly, 500,000 overseas Filipino workers will have to return back to the Philippines. And will the government be able to give job to them? That is a big question mark. Now, in the event something happens in trading between Philippines and China, we have been exporting, we have been sending our agricultural products such as pineapples, bananas, so forth and so on to China, no? Even durian. What if China will reject, will stop this trading? What will happen to the Filipino farmers? Will the government be able to give livelihood to the farmers? So this is what I'm afraid This is what I'm afraid po. Because the senators will not be badly affected. They are rich, they have the money, they have the means. But the problem is, itong mga ordinaryong Filipino po, like us, we are going to suffer. I hope this will not come to this point. I hope this will not come to this point po. And this is the reason why, if you look at the situation po, for 2 weeks po, the minority bloc, dyan po sa Senate, no? They are opposing itong resolution na made by the Senate condemning ang China for the remarks earlier. They're condemning. Because what the minority bloc wants is, instead of continuing this back and forth exchange of words, no, between China and Philippines, they want that let the Department of Foreign Affairs deal the matter with China, no, instead of going to this sabihin natin exchange of words, no, through social media, through our government officials, because dapat yun po, it is the Department of Foreign Affairs. But it seems now, we look at the situation, even ang Philippine Coast Guard, Commodore J. Tariela, that really, I think that is one of the reasons why nag-trigger itong resolution, nag-trigger this conflict, war of words between China and Philippines po, because of the caricature presented by Commodore J. Tariela during a forum to the students po. It's an economic forum or academic forum. And because of that po, nasaktan din ang China. They gave a nasty also po remarks, no? Which you cannot also blame. So because of that po, nag-trigger na po, and this is what is happening now sa relationship between China and the Philippines. China and the Philippines. And unfortunately po, this is happening, and I hope this will be, or we will be able to diffuse the situation po for the sake of everybody. For the sake of everybody. Kawawa talaga po. Kawawa talaga. But anyway, this time around, I'm going to share with you po ang mga video clips ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta when he was interviewed by the Spokes, no? By the Spokes, sabihin natin, media personalities po, yesterday. And let's watch carefully po ang mga statements made by Rodante Marcoleta. To start with po, nandito po ang first video clip natin about ang interview sa this po kay Rodante or Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Hold on, ha? To start with, we have this, mag-cue tayo sa 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Nandito po, let's watch and listen to this interview or question and answer of this po.
May ibang senador na sinasabi, pinamimigay mo daw yung Kalayaan Island Group.
Kailan ko daw sinabi? Galante sa tupos na. Alam mo, ini-splice nila eh.
Tama yun. Paano? For the record, para maging klaro.
Ano yung sinabi niyo sa
That happened when 35 members of the armed forces were up on confirmation. Parang astig yung COVID. So I was surprised that even the one who represented them, who's a captain, is the highest ranking na nandun sa amin. Hindi niya alam na yung key features ng Kalayaan Island Group, 4 of them, which are being occupied by the Philippines today, hindi niya alam na nalabas siya sa ating exclusive economic zone.
more than 200 nautical miles?
All the while, can you imagine that? All the while, akala niya, nasa loob ng ECC. So, Commodore Tariela didn't even tell them the whole story. So, akala ko pa siya ang spokesman ng ng WPS Transparency Group Office.
Correct.
Yes, I've been so transparent about it.
So,
Ano nangyari sa
this is a Navy captain, sir?
Hindi, Armed Forces yan.
So,
Si Commodore, part niya sa Army is the General. Kaya lang, civilianized na Coast Guard na naman naman. Kaya lang, tayo naman. Kahit civilian ka na, naka-uniforme ka pa. So,
Under DOTR ang Coast Guard.
yes.
Yes.
Pero,
So,
uniform servicemen sila. Yun ang
So, nagulat sila na outside,
Hindi nila
tapos
alam.
nagre-react ng mga senador na pinamimigay niya. Pero, this is correct. Yung Kalayaan Island Group, hindi outside siya sa EEZ kasi ang claim natin sa kanya is occupation.
Walang question dun, di ba? We exercise sovereignty over Kalayaan.
question
because
doon.
Matagal na nating
Tayo
occupation.
ang occupant doon.
Yes.
So, territory natin yun.
Yes, so,
Ang hindi lang nila maintindihan, okay, kinukunik nga natin yung na-generate na maritime area doon sa tinatawag na West Philippine Sea. Magkakaroon na napakaraming obstacles.
yes.
Doon mismo sa articles ng UNCLOS. Kaya ako sabi ko, Kapitan, do you realize the legal impediments sa UNCLOS pa lang sasabit na tayo? So, nung minumustra ko yung difficulty, I was raising a question out of pique.
Yes.
Para pag sinabi ko kay Gob, diyan sabi ko sa iyo, mapanganib talaga yung lugar na yan, ha?
So hindi niya sinabi na i-give up na natin.
Bahala ka. Pero kung gusto mong magpakamatay, Ben, pumunta ka doon. I am not advocating na magpakamatay si Gob, Ben. I'm stressing. Yung warning ko sa kanya na huwag kang pupunta doon kang mapanganib. So sinabi ko, it's very impossible na ma-enclose mo siya because there are several obstacles. Okay? So, you cannot do this unless you give it up. Parang ganun lang, no? I am not advocating. Teritoryo natin yun, eh.
Yes.
And territory is not part of the ruling or of the arbitral tribunal.
Correct.
Wala sa jurisdiction niya.
Kasi unclose yung sa
Alright, yun po, narinig natin ang first video clip of ang interview ni Senator Dante Marcoleta dyan po sa DESPO. And he made it very clear po, no, na is not saying that we give up ang kalayaan, no? Sabi niya hindi. My statement was downplayed po, no? Misinterpreted po. He was just saying na dahan-dahan tayo po because itong kalayaan po is outside sa EEZ natin, no? Although the issue na po, no, hindi na ano, ang kalayaan po, we have the sabihin natin sa atin ito po because nandyan na po ang mga Filipinos, ang mga kababayan natin po, they are already living there. Mayroon na tayong local government doon po, no? So that is ours, no? Sa atin yon, ng Pilipinas yon po. And si Marcoleta is not saying i-give up natin ang kalayaan po. That is wrong, sabi niya po. Anyway, okay, let's go to our next video clip whether ang mga during the meeting, ito si Senator Marcoleta with the captains, mga kapitan po, do they agree with him? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen ang reply ng question kay Dante Marcoleta.
Bakit ilang ginawang chapsuy? At meron pang isang retired justice at isang professor ng UP ang naglagay ng seasoning. Kaya lalong
So very clear, Atty. Rex. Hindi niya pinamimigay. Tama.
sinabi ko nga, ang
Hindi naman siya, wala rin naman personality si
premise ko nga, sabi ko, Kapitan, we have to defend
Yes.
and take what is ours, what is legally ours.
Correct.
Sasamahan kita dyan. We will have to defend it to the last drop.
Including the KIG.
We are referring to the KIG.
Yes.
Hindi nila kinuha yun. Ang kinuha lang nila yung pick na sinabi ko na, paano mo gagawin yun without giving it up? I did not say that we will give it up. Why should we give it up? Atin yun.
Sa atin.
So, para sa kaliwanagan, no? So,
So, ano
Klaro po, no? Klarong-klaro ang explanation ni Senator Dante Marcoleta. You are watching po dito sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Don't forget po to like and subscribe and follow po itong TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. Nandito tayo po sa Facebook, nandito tayo sa YouTube, and sa TikTok po. No? Ito lang ang hingi ako sa inyo po. Para at least you will be properly informed or be updated of what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas. Let's continue. Ang next video clip po ay ito.
Pinipilit natin i-define yung meats and bulbs ng West Philippines. So, i-import natin yung tubig nila. Pag ginawa natin yun, Atty. Tracy, you are appropriating the ICs.
Teka, maano lang ako, light. Na-confirm ba yung mga kapitan? Because they cannot answer.
Oo naman, sabi ko, kapitan, maging honest ka lang. Kung hindi mo alam magsagot,
Okay lang.
I will not take it against you. Gusto ko lang sabihin sa'yo, na yung Pag-asa, for example, which is also called internationally as Tito Island, is 227 away from the EEZ. Lakas talaga. And most of them are more than 200 nautical miles away.
Ang nautical miles for the EEZ is counted from our baseline.
Archipelagic.
Archipelagic.
Dalawa kasi ang
So from
baseline
the
sa Tony.
territorial,
Yes.
from the territorial sea. Ang territorial sea is 12 nautical miles from the shore.
Yeah, sure, yes.
So, ang Kalayaan Island Group has its own territorial sea.
Yes.
Wala lang siyang EEZ.
Wala ni sis.
Sinabi yun dun sa arbitral decision.
Yes.
Arbitral
Yes.
decision. So,
Pero bakit
Okay? Klarong-klaro po, no? So, let's move on sa next video clip natin para at least malalaman talaga natin po ano talaga ito issue. Is it simple one and made it complicated? Or complicated na ito and they are trying to make it simple? Kaya nga si Senator Rodante Marcoleta is now answering questions dyan po sa programa ng DISPO, no? Para at least ang mga tao will be, ang mga Filipino will be properly informed on ano talaga itong issue. Ano talaga itong issue. Alright, the next video clip that I want to share with you po, andito na po. Let's continue. Let's continue po.
Sinasadya na lang nila i-misinterpret kasi hindi nila talaga masolve yung conundrum. Totoo naman na nahihirapan. Can you imagine? 14 years after the administrative order in 2012 was issued by President Pinoy, ordering the NAMREA to prepare the maps and chart in consultation with the DFA to submit it to the office of the UN Secretary General because that is the only way to notify the whole world that you have a claim.
Yes.
that's part of the UNCLOS.
Ano ginawa ba ng NAMREA?
Wala. And two years ago, siguro November 2024, sabi ng NAMREA, we will produce the Philippine map with the West Philippine Sea soon. That was 2 years ago. So, meron ba? Sabi ni Senator Tol, na-confuse yata siya. No, he already submitted. But I think he was confused. What we submitted are the archipelagic baselines and and sea lanes at saka yung sa ating yung continental shelf in connection with our petition for extended
Continental shelf.
shelf in the Benham Rise. Yun ang sinabit natin.
Magkaiba yan eh.
Magkaiba naman yun. We're talking about the West Philippine Sea. And we're
Okay? Next is, bakit ba maingay itong issue po? Itong issue, bakit nagiging maingay ito? Let's hear from Senator Rodante Marcoleta po.
Yes.
pinagtatalunan pa yun, di ba? Kasi,
Hindi pa ba tapos?
adapted pa lang kasi alam mo, yung final ano niya, siguro baka next week.
Yes.
Paano kaming pipirma doon? Sabi ko nga, ni-raise din ni Senator Alan kahapon. Ang title niya kasi, getting the sense of the Senate
Yes.
to condemn the public statements of the officials of the Chinese Embassy. Pero kung titignan mo ang resolution, what are these, where are these public statements? Parang sinasabi ko nga, gusto mo mag-election tayo, wala namang kandidato. Paano ako makakaboto?
Hindi nakalagay sa
Wala yung mga so, ni-amend nila kahapon tried to include all this. Pero ang gusto ko, sabi ko kay President Soto, SP, sabi ko, mas maganda siguro, bawat statement, ilagay natin, tapos anong sinagot ng Chinese. Kasi balitaktakan eh.
Yes,
Pagkatsagaan, balitan ng salita. Sino ba ako nag-umpisa?
Kasi
Para
nag-trigger
makita natin.
trigger din kasi yan kasi may presentation sa Dirasal yata si
Commodore Daniela.
Ariela na yung caricature ni President Xi Jinping.
Yun ang mas nag-promote.
Yun ang provoke eh. Kaya
Pero
yun ang nag-ano.
totoo lang.
Ako yung caricature, parang sa akin personal, parang foul naman yun na hindi naman ano. Kasi ang sama ang itsura eh. No? Although, mga freedom of expression yun, pero yun ang talaga yun ang nag-provoke.
Yun ang nag-provoke, pero ang una talaga na nag-ring, ang unang nagsabi kasi na talagang nakulang atensyon niya is Senator Kiko. You remember na nagano siya ng tonight niya yung China for the military exercise in the Taiwan Strait. Sabi ng China sa kanya, sir, Philippines maintains one China policy. You don't have to say that. Hanggang sa dumating nga si Tariela, nagpunta sa isang eskwela, may daladalang caricature, portraying the head of state of China in a very embarrassing image. Sabi ko, is that a national policy? They said, no.
Alala mo sa totoo.
Yan po, narinig natin. At least, now, I hope you have some ideas po kung bakit ganito ang sitwasyon, no? Nagiging mainit itong issue. And, sige pa, let's continue, no? Para at least, klaro, mas decente po. Let's continue ang mga video clips na I prepared for all of you. Ang next video clip is, saan na tayo, ha? 153. Saan yan 153? Hold on. 153. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this.
Paano niya nga ito-drawing yun? Sinachallenge ko nga sila eh. Kung gusto nyo ka ako, sumama kayo, sasama ko sa inyo. Gusto ko rin malaman, paano ninyo ka ako aayusin yung Article 7 ng UNCLOS na mapaviolate nyo if you do that. Ano sinasabi ng Article 7? Kapag ginuhitan nyo kanya, it's about the straight baseline. Sabi niya, kailangan pagka i-connect ninyo, you should not appreciably distort the contour, the general direction of your coastline. Violated tayo.
So, dapat
Article 47, hindi nyo magagawa, sabi ng UNCLOS. Why? Even if you are an archipelagic baseline, because these are far apart, masyadong malalayo yung features eh. You will not be able to meet the requirements of the water-to-land ratio, which is 1.9.
Correct.
So, malalayo. Okay. Hindi lang naman tayo ang sinabihan ng arbitral tribunal. Sabi niya sa China, oy, kahit ikaw China, you cannot appropriate, you cannot enclose that. Why? You are not an archipelagic state. You are a continental state.
Yes.
So, hindi ko yun sa nila. Tayo, inadmit natin yun. Do you know why we admitted that? We submitted a not verbal in March 2002.
Okay.
Okay? Sabi natin, okay, kami napapailalim dyan. Kaya ang ginawa natin, gumawa tayo ng batas.
Yes.
RA 12046. In acknowledgement of the ruling of the arbitral tribunal.
Recently.
Inamend natin yung Presidential Decree 1596 na ginawa ni President Marcos Sr. Minax niya yung Spratlys.
Kaya nabawasan tayo sa KIG.
Grabe, no? May puntos talaga, no? Magandang mga puntos ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta. And sabi niya po, mga Pilipino matalino. Mga Pilipino matalino. Let's watch and listen to this. Mga Pilipino matalino po. Alright, nandito.
Sabi mo nga, misplice yung anong feeling mo nung...
Wala naman. Sabi ko kasi, ako nananatiling naniniwala ko, Ben, na Pilipino, matalino yan eh. Darating nga, siguro hindi naman magtatagal. Ngayon lang, naiintindihan na nila eh. Marami nang nasasabi nga, ganun lang pala, napakasimple ba? Paano nga nilalagyan ng seasoning? At lalagyan ng seasoning, kaklase mo yata yung professor sa UP, nagtuturo ng maritime law.
Si Professor J. Matupak. Agad siya sa akin,
Kung
Senator.
professor ka ng maritime law, you talk about admiralty, you talk about
Yes.
this carrier of goods, shipping lines, insurance, blah, blah, blah. But do not assume that you are an expert in international law. Mag-Trixie ako, I do not even assume. Kaya lang nagbabasa ako eh. Nagbabasa ako. Inaaral ko talaga. I am not an expert. Pero yung basic, naiintindihan ko. Huwag ka dito palalabuin. Huwag ka nalalagyan ng seasoning.
Sir, speaking of seasoning, isa kayo doon.
Grabe, no? And let's also hear ano namang ang opinion, statement or reaction or ang answer ni Dante Marcoleta when he was asked to comment on the resolution po. Now let's go on the resolution. Ano naman ang comment niya po? Let's watch and listen to this.
Yes, sir.
Pinagtatalunan pa yun, di ba?
Senator, hindi pa ba tapos?
Adapted pa lang kasi alam mo, yung final ano niya, siguro siguro baka next week.
Yes.
Paano kaming pipirma doon? Sabi ko nga, niraise din ni Senator Alan kahapon. Ang title na kasi, getting the sense of the Senate
Yes.
to condemn the public statements of the officials of the Chinese Embassy. Pero kung titingnan mo ang resolution, what are where are these public statements? Parang sinasabi ko nga, gusto mo mag-election tayo, wala namang kandidato. Paano ako makakaboto?
Hindi nakalagay sa
Wala yung mga so ni-amend nila kahapon yun.
Okay.
They now belatedly tried to include all this. Pero ang gusto ko, sabi ko kay President Soto, sabi ko, mas maganda siguro, bawat statement, ilagay natin, tapos anong sinagot ng Chinese. Kasi balitaktakan eh. Matutsadaan, balitan ng salita. Sino ba ako nag-umpisa?
Kasi
Para maganda natin.
trigger din kasi yan kasi may presentation sa Dilasar yata si
Commodore
Ariela na yung caricature ni President Xi Jinping.
Yun ang mas nag-provoke.
Yun ang provoke eh.
Pero Gobe,
Yun ang
totoo lang.
yung caricature, parang sa akin personal, parang foul naman yun na hindi naman kasi ang sama ng itsura eh. No? Although, mga freedom of expression yun, pero yun ang palagyo, yun ang nag-provoke.
Yun ang nag-promote, pero ang una talaga na nag-ring, ang una nagsabi kasi na talagang nakulang attention niya is Senator Kiko. You remember na nagano siya ng chinight niya yung China for the military exercise in the Taiwan Strait. Sabi ng China sa kanya, sir, Philippines maintains one China policy. You don't have to say that. Hanggang sa dumating nga si Tariela, nagpunta sa isang eskwela, may dardalang caricature, portraying the head of state of China in a very embarrassing image. Sabi ko, is that a national policy? They said, no.
Alala mo, sa totoo lang.
Okay, yun po, narinig natin, no? Yun, I also agree na one of the reasons why nag-trigger itong conflict, itong exchange of war of words between ang mga senador, ang sabihin natin ang China, it is because of Commodore J. Tadiela when he put out or during a forum, academic forum dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang caricature ni presidente ng China po. And yes, I also agree with Senator Marcoleta na the other reason is, dyan po, nakumpisa talaga ito po, yun one China policy po, no? Wherein na-comment din po si Senator si Senator Kiko Pangilinan po. So, this is what is happening po. This is the result. Now, ang position, sila Marcoleta, sila Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is trying to diffuse it, no? But ang mga ibang senator po, they want na head-on sa China. head-on sa China po. That's why they passed this resolution. Mabuti lang po itong resolution, condemning ang China po. They did not include ang persona non grata. Because if it was included po, grabe na po ang sitwasyon. That's how I look at it. Anyway, may challenge na nabigay si Commodore J. Tariela kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta na magsama daw sa kanya po, magpunta dyan po sa Kalayaan para makita so that he will be able to see ang actual situation in the area po. And here is the reply of Senator Rodante Marcoleta when he was asked to comment on the challenge made by Commodore J. Tariela. Commodore J. Tariela. Let's watch and listen to this. Asan na yan po? Hold on po, 155. Okay, sana tayo, 155. Kung minsan, hold on. This is 158. Is it 158? Meron tayo dito, 158. Nandito po, let's watch and listen to this.
Commodore Tariela invited you to join the West Philippine Sea operations para makita nyo daw yung actual condition.
Sama tayo, mga taga-dispose sa milyonaryo para makita rin natin.
Hindi kayo nasisisip. Sasakay ako sa Navy. Okay lang. Pero sir, tanggapin nyo, ano sa challenge yun eh.
Pero mas magandang invitation na ako naman ang mag-invite sa kanya.
Yes, sir.
Na halimbawa siya, isama niya si Justice Carpio at saka yung kaklase mong professor sa magkaroon tayo dito in a friendly and healthy discussion of these issues. Whatever the outcome, Attorney Trixie, I'd like to believe that the entire Filipino people will be the winner.
Yes.
Pwede rin natin gawin yung ano niya, pero sa susunod na, kailangan unahin muna nating masettle itong sigalot na to. At saka tayo pare-parehong pumunta doon.
So, debate po na.
Ito yung mas importante. My invitation for him is to be here with the seasoning nila.
Pero parang ganyan ang direction ni Senator Erwin Tulfo na file siya ng resolution na magkaroon tayo ng unified understanding ng issue na ito. Kasi ang dami-daming versions eh. Di ba? Maganda yan. Mag-debate.
Oh, but he did that before sinabi niya sa Chinese Embassy, magsilayas kayo dyan. Di ba? Dapat sana, wala mo nang ganon. And now, he's trying to say na, pwede naman tayong mag-usap-usap. How can you even offer that kung nandun pa yung resolution? Sana, sabihin mo, withdraw muna natin yung resolution and then let's engage our Chinese counterpart. Pero i-offer mo yung mag-uusap tayo, active and live pa yung proposition, yung resolution, magdidibatihan pa. Paano maniniwala yung counterpart?
Alright, yan po. Yan po ang issue, no? And I hope we will be able to solve itong conflict between ang mga senador natin at saka ang Chinese officials or embahada po, no? Medyo malungkot this is really happening. And what do you think? Kayo po, what do you think? Do you think it's best that we do it in a diplomatic way, no? Let the Department of Foreign Affairs deal with the problem with China. And hindi na kailangan. There's no need for us to go for this kind of resolution po because it will only aggravate ang situation. And which is now the embassy of China also responded, no? Ang resolution ng Senado na wala nang katapusan ito po, no? Wala nang katapusan and sana lang po it will not come to a point wherein China will make a decision that will be harmful to the Filipinos po. To the Filipinos. Okay, the other issue that was raised during the interview of kay Senator Dante Marcoleta is regarding, remember yun, ang minority, group ng dyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee, the other day they submitted they submitted itong report nila po, report sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Ang report nila po, ang findings nila tungkol sa flood control project investigation. Let's watch and listen to the statement made by Senator Rodante Marcoleta on the issue of the minority report dyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Ano kaya ito po, no? So, let's watch and listen to this.
Sama kayo sa pumirma doon with Senator Aimee and ilan ba? 6 others, kung di ako nagkakamali. So, ano na nangyari? Ni-release and then wala na, that's it.
Sabi kasi nila, we cannot take that up because it's only a minority report. Our rules say, assess that, kailangan mo ng merong majority report. And then, let's consider that as a dissenting report siguro. Sabi nilang ganon. But now, hindi namin alam kung talagang meron ng draft report kasi they keep on saying na babaguhin namin ito, babaguhin natin ang ganyan. So, meron 3 sa amin nga na nagpirma na doon, nag-withdraw na signature. So, parang hindi pa alam kung alin talaga.
So, wala bang na-present na final committee
Nabasa ko
report?
yun, but wala pang final report.
So
The
wala
final report will be subjected for adoption and then it will be defended in the plenary.
In the committee level first, di ba? For adoption.
Hindi na, tapos na kasi di ba ang plan namin pagkatas na ma-adopted as a committee report, okay, edi depends in the plenary.
Yes.
So it will be subjected to interpellation.
So, ano ba? Kung natuloy ba yung Attorney Trixie, babalik kayong...
Alright, yun po, no? And wala pa po. Ang Blue Ribbon Committee report, draft lang yun po the other day. And let's see po if they will, ang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, si Ping Lacson, Senator Ping Lacson po, will be able to get 11 signatures po. Because it will be recognized as the official Blue Ribbon Committee report po regarding itong sabihin natin flood control projects po, no? Kung mayroon na 11 signatories. If they cannot get that 11 signatories po, ibig sabihin walang conclusion, walang ending ang Blue Ribbon Committee po, wala silang report, no? It might be just another chairman's report. So yon ang sitwasyon diyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee ongoing investigation. Ongoing pa ba ito or ano? There are times si Senator Ping Lacson will say kailangan pa 2 o 3 hearing. But in some occasions sabi niya tapos na, we will make our report already po, to be submitted to the plenary. And we don't know po kung totoo ba ito. But anyway, another question raised kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta po, in the event, kasi narinig natin na mayroon mga speculations, haka-haka, all these things po, that there will be change of leadership in the Senate. And in the event, there will be change of leadership and the present minority bloc will become the majority bloc. And if the members of the majority, the new majority bloc, will elect Rodante Marcoleta to again spearhead the Blue Ribbon Committee po, ano ang reaction ni Rodante or Senator Rodante Marcoleta, and ano ang priority in the event he becomes the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Ano ang sagot niya po? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen. Let's watch and listen po. 308. 308.
Senator, kung given a chance na mag-lead ng investigative body, uli, anong number 1 issue na pipiliin ninyo.
Kung halimbawa, ang gusto ng majority, ako ang
Halimbawa, nabalik kayo sa Blue Ribbon Committee again.
Napangangatawanan ko yung palagi kong sinasabi na kinakailangan lumitaw dito yung malalaking isda, yung nagpasimuno nito. Hindi magagawa ng isang maliit na isda. Ang buluhin. Siyempre, yung maliit na isda, gagawa ba siya ng artificial river? Hindi niya magagawa yun. Kahit na isda pa siya. Isang malaking isda lang makagagawa.
So, issue ng corruption pa rin ang tututunan nyo.
1 billion is dumadaan sa undersecretary.
Hindi simpleng pagnanakaw ang nangyari. Nilimas ang kapal ng Pilipino. Nilimas. Ibig mo sabihin, sapsap lang ang gumawa nun. Maraming personalities na binanggit dito.
Yes.
I will tell you, even Senator Ping, during one of our plenary hearings, doon sa panahon ng TBCC natin, the economic cluster, we're still taking up, on the first day, we're supposed to take up general principles. But he had the chance and opportunity to disclose already a part of that corruption scandal. Na sinabi niya, I will have to divulge to you 2 officials of government, and he mentioned 2 names.
Yes.
And this, ang pinag-uusapan noon at that time, is about 9 billion pesos. Okay? Somebody handled, kasi ganito yan eh. Saltico, you will remember, mentioned about 100 billion inserted in the gap. Okay? Ngayon, initially, Senator Lacson sabihin dito to yun because I have reviewed the budget. Later on, he considered na meron talaga. Only, sabi niya, the president was name dropped. Okay? So, nagbanggit siya ng pangalan. Bakit hindi yun ang tuntunin? Bakit hindi yun ang tuntunin? Sabi niya, in his last hearing, sabi niya, I'd like to stress this point. We will always go where the evidence leads us. Sinabi niya na yung ganun eh. We're talking here of the 9 billion pesos na inandel ni Jose Bernardo sa kanyang statement. Sinabi niya, yung 100 billion, sabi niya, 89 billion ang in-implement ng DPWH. Out of the 89 billion, 51 to 52 billion, yun lang ang personal inandel ko, sabi ni Jose Bernardo. And the tarifa there is 16%, kaya nga 8 billion eh. So yung Jose na sinabi niya, doon ko binigay ang pera in 10 instances. Gumagamit pa sila ng ban, yung armored ban. And they utilize the basement of the Diamond Hotel. Bakit hindi ito yung unahin?
Yung draft ko,
Hey, mayroon pala yon 9 billion po, no? Ay, grabe. So, at this now, lumalabas na po other issues, no? According to Senator Rodante Marcoleta. But anyway, another question that was raised sa kanya po is ito. In the event he will be chosen to be the running mate of Inday Sara Duterte as Vice President during the 2028 presidential election. Anong masasabi niya po? No? Will he take it or he will leave it? Nandito po ang response ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta on this particular issue if he will be chosen or allowed to be the running mate of Inday Sara Duterte dyan po sa 2028 presidential election po. Let's watch and listen to this.
She's not, syempre hindi pinapamigay ni Attorney Poa yung defenses. Pero confident sila eh. Based on dun sa nakita ninyo sa mga reklamo na iniyain. Ano sa tingin niyo?
Sa ngayon, di ba, they filed another...
Pareho lang sir. Pareho na.
Kasi muna, hindi ko pa nakita. Assuming na
It's the same as last year.
pareho lang. Kasi,
May nabawas lang sir.
kasi nung nandun pa ako sa house, kung ang pinanggagalingan niyan, sabi ko, ay yung observation memo ng POA. Sabi ko noon sa kanila, dalawang bagay lang. Una, mahina yun because ang observation memo, magaya rin ng notice of disallowance or notice of charge.
Ready for a getaway? Plan your trip effortlessly with the Trip.com app.
Readable. These are available.
Yes.
Pupunta siya sa appealable, pupunta siya sa commission proper, kung yun ang proper appeal, pupunta siya doon. Meron pa siyang recourse. Kung sakasakali, natalo siya sa commission proper, meron pa siyang Supreme Court. So, lahat ng process na to hindi na-observe eh. Just because there is an observation memo, doon mo na kinuha yun. Number 2 is the more objectionable part. Nangyari lahat ito dahil sinabi na yung Commission on Audit ng isang committee ng House of Representatives. Sabi ko sa kanila, how can you do that? You are encroaching on the independence of the COA. Isa lang ang COA sa Constitution ang gagawa ng audit. Nobody in the Constitution ever delegated that function only and only to the COA.
Correct.
COA should not delegate it to another committee of the House of Representatives. Hindi na pwede.
Hindi naman yata nag-audit ng committee. Pero anyway, next na question.
That's even auditors. They're not even as good as the auditors. So, the delegation of power, mali.
Ito, next.
Alright, narinig niyo po. Medyo mali yata ang ano natin. Video clip ba tungkol sa running mate. Saan na yung running mate, ha? Tingnan natin. Ito ba yun? Hold on, ha?
Draft Blue Ribbon Committee report.
What was it?
Hold on. Tingnan natin. Saan na yun? Medyo nawala na yata ang ano natin. Queue natin sa running mate. Running mate. Saan na yung running mate nila, ha? Hold on. Kasi there was a question raised sa kanya po. Hold on. Baka ito.
Napakinggan para i-issue ng...
Bakit gusto nilang mag-ingay? Because they try to present a new narrative, a different narrative that will benefit
Hold on.
politically.
Saan na yun? Mayroon yung isang question na he was asked. Anong...
Bilang possible running mate.
ito po.
Sa 2020.
Ito po, sandali. Alright, nandito. Let's watch and listen.
Bilang possible running mate ni VP Inday sa 2028. Ano sa tingin ninyo?
Alam mo naman, Atty. Trace.
Agad.
Alam mo ba naman,
Ano sa...
I am only a 7-month senator of the Republic.
True.
You might be,
CPR.
parang pinakakain mo ako ng solid na eh. Alam mo, infant pa ako eh. Solid pa pakakain mo sa infant.
Sir, si PRD nga mayor. Dahil presidente. O nag-congressman siya saglit. Pero yung last na position niya, mayor, tumalik
Yeah,
ang
but
presidente.
yung aking mandate as senator, di ba? 7 months pa lang ako. Di ba? Am I not chewing something na masyado namang...
So are you saying that you will not accept? Or you will accept?
Tingnan natin ang developments nga, no? Given the fact na ito pa lang naman, ang dami pa natin ayusin. Are you forgetting the nightmare of the blood control scandal?
Okay. So ngayon, ano pa lang siya? Kung baka infant pa lang siya, yung mga darating na panahon,
O, extended tough question. In the future, kung sa tingin ninyo ngayon, 7 months pa lang kayong senador, do you see yourself seeking a higher executive position?
Kung halimbawa naman ang developments ay pointing towards that direction, katulad mo halimbawa, ikaw na nagsasabi, kasama ng aking classmate sa Harvard, sinasabi niyang ganun. At saka maraming tao nag-advocate, alam nilang marami tayong magagawa. Sino naman ako na hindi titingnan yung possibility?
Pero at least,
Alright, klarong-klaro po. Sabi niya, infant pa lang siya po, no? But when shoot by extension question po sa kanya, sabi niya, let's see the situation. Sino naman siya po? Sabi niya, who am I to say no kung ganito talaga ang sitwasyon and kailangan talaga ang serbisyo niya po. So, nandyan na po, no? There is a possibility, no? May haka-haka, baka he will be chosen to be a candidate for Vice President dyan po sa 2028 presidential election. But hindi pa ito confirmed. Lahat na lang ito po, mga sabi natin, haka-haka. Let's see po, mga pangalan for the 2028 presidential election. Nandyan po, former Vice President Leni Robredo, Jovic Remulla, which is mahirap. Para sa akin lang yun po, no? If tomorrow the election will be held, mahirap talaga yun. Si Rizal Taveras po, mahirap talaga po if election will be held tomorrow. and sino-sino mga Rafi Tulfo, and sino-sino mga kandidato for Vice President po, no? Anyway, sige lang, we will continue to monitor itong programa natin Nico, The Real Talk with Nico, ang mga updates, development activities dyan po sa Pilipinas, be it in terms of security, politics, and economy. I will make sure that I will monitor religiously and make sure that whatever kailangan na to inform sa mga viewers ko po dito sa Nico, The Real Talk with Nico, I will do that immediately. So, in the meantime, now is a Wednesday, February 11 na tayo po, no? So, let's do the best, ha? Itong weekdays natin, ha? Until Friday, and Saturday will be Valentine's Day po. So with this, si Nico would like to say maraming salamat po for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. I'll see you in my next episode, and remember, I love you all. Bye.